Hello everyone, welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman.
And Brienne Steinberg.
And today we have Marshall and Sarah Bureau with us.
Yeah, I did a little introduction. Jake usually does the introduction, but you guys need a big one. You need a big introduction. So Sarah is, they both are rooted in St. Catharines, Ontario. Sarah is the founder and owner of sbspecs and B-Side Artisan Eyewear, a local eyeglass shop in St. Catharines. And Marshall is an incredibly talented drummer, featured on over 50 albums spanning various genres, most notably playing currently with Sleepy Jean and touring with the Great Lakes Swimmers. Amazing. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Yeah. Amazing. We've been friends for decades. Yeah.
At least.
Oh, at least.
More than that?
18
Wow.
years.
Yeah, because how old's Isla?
She's 18
18
now.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
14 years?
Yeah, so 14 years. Yeah, I was teaching your girls 14 years ago. Amazing. And it's been a while since we caught up. We see each other here and there, but we're all super busy. Being artistically married.
Yes. With kids.
With kids, yeah, for sure. I just wanted to kind of start with you, Sarah, just to talk about kind of the origin of the shop, how you went from being an optician and decided to start your own business.
So I was working as a dispensing optician for quite a while, and I was just really finding that I was needing to satisfy like that creative urge. Before I decided to become an optician, I was planning to go to school for opera. So I also come from that background, and working in sales for 15 years, you start getting a little squirrely.
Yeah.
So I was working in a shop that with an older optician who encouraged me to, delve into the old school way of being an optician, where we were refurbishing and repairing frames. And that really sparked an interest for me. And so I made it a focus to teach myself how to do all of these complex repairs. And then just started a little side hustle. It was just in the furnace room. I had 3 or 4 feet of counter space and a polishing wheel. And I just started some social media. And that kind of blew up. So I think I have over 250 optical accounts now that send me work, in addition to private clients from mostly in North America, but also internationally in Europe as well. And now we have a commercial location and a couple of employees, and
amazing.
Yeah.
So fun.
It's a whole beast of its own.
Yeah. Yeah. So the business opened in 2019, I think I read.
Yeah. So in 2019, like I said, it was just a little side hustle, just something to keep me busy and keep my brain, doing creative things. And then as more and more people started following me, we started picking up more accounts, and then I moved from the furnace room into the spare room.
Yep. Moving up in the world.
Yeah.
More real estate.
Yeah. So that was big. I was like, wow, I got a whole room to put all my toys and tools and stuff in. And then last year we really got to the point where I just couldn't keep up with the amount of work, and we had to consider hiring somebody to help. So then we started looking for a commercial space, and moved in there last April.
Cool. Yeah, you're on King Street in St. Catharines?
Yeah, on King Street, just 2 doors down from the Loyalist retirement home, across from the liquor store.
Cool. Amazing. I think it's such an exciting story to kind of hear. Yeah, like you said, not having a creative outlet, right? We all pick our professions and we go into our jobs, and then we realize how much our creation and our creativity needs to be a part of our life, right? So I think that's exciting. And then the other thing is, I think it's really interesting, any businesses that are kind of going against the mainstream. What I mean by that is, we are in this society where we're just throwing stuff away, right? I was saying to Jacob, I'll sometimes buy stuff, it rips the second day, and I'm like, what did I expect for $30? I think we're in this fast-paced situation where people are not holding on to their things. So I think it's really exciting that you have that part of your business that is about like refurbishing and continuing to, hold on to your goods. I think it's exciting for clients too, that they have that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by repairing a pair of glasses, you're keeping it out of the landfill, but also glasses tend to become part of a person's personality. Some people will wear the same frame and they'll just keep buying the same frame over and over again because it's really an expression of who they are. And so it's just a shame when somebody says, oh, a hinge broke, or, there's a chip in the frame, or, it's oxidized, so it's no good anymore and you need to throw it out and you need to buy something new. And it's really not the case. I mean, there are very few times that something comes into my workshop that I'll say, okay, this needs
beyond repair.
We need to we need to let this one go. But most of the time, we're able to bring frames right back to life and make them look like they did when they were new. And it also gives people an opportunity to maybe have multiple pairs of glasses. If you can refurbish one and repair it and then be able to invest in a new pair, it kind of works hand in hand.
I think, like I said, I think it's great. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say glasses is really, it's a small material to work on. Like, where did you learn the skills to do such precise work?
A lot of trial and error. There are no programs that teach these skills, so I like to be a problem solver. So that's what's fun about my job, is that every pair of glasses that comes into the workshop is a new project. It's not the same process for every single pair. You have to think outside the box. So that's really how I trained myself how to do these things. And also researching, oh yeah, I have a problem, or, has anybody done this before? Or is there something in another material or in another product that I can take some inspiration from and apply that to this specific project or scenario? So also, I'm kind of stubborn. It's kind of hard for me to say this is not repairable. And so sometimes I've spent maybe too much time trying to repair something. But I don't know. I feel like the pieces that come into the shop mean something to someone. And so I kind of take a responsibility to, support that and bring it back to life.
Yeah.
However I can.
Yeah. And like I said, I you kind of touched on this, but I think it is such a big part of people's identity, right? Mm-hmm. It's different. Obviously, we have fashion and you identify by your clothing, but it's a really special thing. It's on your face, right?
Yeah.
So how do you, how does it feel, I guess, when people are coming in and you're able to give them kind of that gift back?
It's great. I mean, they're so appreciative because most of the population just says something is broken and you have to buy new.
Yeah.
And when you've invested in a material or in a pair of glasses, and it doesn't matter if they cost this or that, it's part of your personality, and to take that away from somebody is kind of a shame, especially mm-hmm. when it is mostly possible to bring these things back to life.
Yeah. You touched on kind of the cost effect, and I think, there is a big range in terms of eyewear that you can spend on something. Mm-hmm. So I was just perusing your website, and I think it's really special because typically, or maybe you can speak to this, but I was looking at it and there is a huge creativity part of some of the glasses that you're working on. It didn't look to me like these were, a very average, typical kind of glasses that you were working on. So I think it gets extra special, as maybe it is a cost thing, but maybe it is just something that you found, right? We're all out in the world and you're traveling and you find something and you buy them. And depending on how rare they are, how special or unique they are, I think that really comes into play, right? It's something like a one-of-a-kind piece of eyewear that you can't find anywhere else. So I can't just go rebuy them because I was traveling and I was in Mexico and I saw these glasses and I bought them, and now I can't reproduce them. I can't buy them again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, I think that even if you could get a new pair of the exact same frame, that particular pair of glasses has been with you and has had all of these experiences with you. And just replacing it with the same thing new loses some of its value, like personal value,
Yeah,
not
the
financial
emotional value,
yeah,
right?
I've had frames come in where they've actually said, like, please repair it, but don't polish it. I like the patina of this frame. It reminds me of this trip, and I got this scratch from, whatever, I don't know. They don't want me to completely finish
erase
it.
Erase
the history of it.
memories. Yeah.
I also think it's interesting. Most of the time, I'm able to get the frame to look like new, like you can't see the repair. But sometimes if a frame has some translucency to it and I need to put a stabilizing system, like think of a frame that's broken in half, I would drill a metal stabilizing post inside the repair. Well, if the frame has translucency, you're going to see that. But I think it's actually interesting because it tells a story of this piece, this pair of glasses, what happened to it. This is now part of its story. So I kind of like when I can see some scars and stuff, but I do 99% of the time want it to look like brand new.
Yeah.
The other thing is I don't really get a lot of frames in that are low cost. Because unless they have some sentimental value, it's not worth the cost of the repair. Most of the frames that we get in are artisan frames. Maybe they're limited edition, or like you said, they're no longer being produced.
Right.
Yeah, but that's not to say that I won't repair something that is a lower cost frame. I mean, absolutely, you can.
Yeah. What's an average time that you would spend on something, like on repairing a pair of glasses?
Ooh, that depends on the repair and how complex it is. So if it's just coming in for a weld, it might take me like 20 minutes. If it's been run over by a truck.
Have you had that?
Chewed by a dog.
Yeah.
Yes. Motorcycle.
Puppies love glasses because they
just the
smell
plastic and the crunchy.
and it smells like you, right? And they just want to eat it. I've had glasses come in that have gone through the washer and dryer. I've had glasses that, have been in the bottom of a pond, for God knows how long, So we see everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just can't imagine. I'm trying to wrap my head around like how you promote yourself, because I feel like it's like you're offering a service that it hasn't been done. Like it's not anywhere else. So how do you promote yourself and kind of educate the public on the fact that like you're here and you're doing this service that is, prior to this, typically I have never heard of anybody else doing this?
Well, a lot of it is through social media or through word of mouth. I've done things like YouTube interviews or podcasts, but a lot of that ends up being like within the industry. So a lot of it is actually educating other opticians.
Yeah.
So that they know that these things are possible.
Available.
Yeah, because like you said, we've just become this disposable community. And also, the bosses in these stores want you to sell more glasses, right? So educating opticians to know that offering a repair service is fostering a really great relationship with your client, because now your client trusts you. You're not just trying to sell them something. Maybe do both, right? Repair and sell a new frame. But when opticians know what is possible, it strengthens their relationship with their clients. The other part of SB Specs is actually doing modifications to eyewear as well. So we do a lot of modifications for low bridge fit. So if you think of someone who has a really low bridge and high cheekbones, most of the frames that are available in North America are going to be made with Caucasian facial features in mind.
Right.
So a high bridge nose. And a lot of people are really restricted in what they can choose in a store because most of the frames don't fit them properly. So then you're either choosing something that you like the look of, but it's
doesn't fit
really uncomfortable and constantly sliding or just, yeah, super uncomfortable. Or you're choosing something that fits that maybe you don't love. And so that's another opportunity for both clients and for opticians, because if a client comes into your store and they historically have had like a very limited choice, if you say to them, you can fall in love with whatever you want, then we'll have it modified so that it fits you well. You've got a client for life.
Yeah.
One of my accounts in Texas, they have a collector of a very expensive frame line, and she has a low bridge, and I think we've probably done over 100 bridge modifications for this client. So now that's somebody who has spent, I don't even want to think about how much money that is, over $100,000 in frames in the store, simply because they can send those frames out.
They trust you. Yeah.
And she can wear them properly now. Otherwise, she couldn't wear them properly.
How do you even do that? Like, I'm looking at your glasses thinking, like, how do you change the shape of the nose?
So on an acetate frame, there's a bridge bump where the frame extends on the back so that it sits on the bridge of your nose. So this little piece here where it's elevated. Yeah. So we grind that down, we polish it, and so it'll look like we haven't done anything to it. And then we're chemically fusing either an acetate build on it that is going to lift the frame up and forward off of the face, or we can put adjustable pad arms on the frame. There's many options to do that.
So wild.
Do you ever have to alter the shape of the frame itself, like cut more out of the nose and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes it's the opposite, where somebody falls in love with the frame and it just isn't like sitting on their nose properly. So yeah, I've had accounts send me stuff and be like, can you reshape this? I've had frames come in where they're like, I want it to be more of a cat eye, and so we're actually changing the upsweep on the frame. And we're literally taking a Dremel to the frame and like hand sculpting things, and then polishing it so it looks new. We can do matte finishes. So, the frame I'm wearing right now is a polished finish, but if the client really wants something unique and they're like, I love that frame, but I want it to be mine, you could do a matte finish. We've changed the color of acetate frames. We changed the length of the temples. I can shorten them. I can lengthen them. Yeah. So it's a kind of, every time somebody comes in with a new, like, hey, now this is what we're at now, is that like opticians will be like, can you do this?
Challenges are getting harder. So it's literally what's happening.
Yeah, just send it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
It's amazing. So exciting. So you had kind of sent in, and I right away talked to Jacob about it. I was like, what, is this true? That you had mentioned that 80% of eyeglass wear is all made by one company?
Yeah, so
it's mind-boggling.
Yes, it is mind-boggling.
In the whole world?
I've heard about this too.
That.
And then even like how it's
lenses.
Priced is just basically whatever you can sell it for. It's all a marketing scheme rather than actual quality or something like that.
Just name brands, right? They're selling names. They're selling brands other than outside of quality. So it's like buying something. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
It's like having a manufacturer make glasses, and then all of these companies buy it to stamp different names on it and sell it for what those names are worth.
So whether crazy.
It's
Yeah, so it's a company called Luxottica. It's an Italian-based company, and they are basically a monopoly. And I'm sure many people have seen this. What was it? Who was that woman, investigative journalist, who put out a report on Luxottica? And maybe I shouldn't say Luxottica in this.
You're kind of calling them out right now.
I mean, they're not doing anything wrong, right? Like they're a manufacturing company. If you're the first person to do something, like it's not like you're wrong in doing that.
Yeah,
you're just bringing something
fine.
you're bringing product to market. Like there's not maybe. I feel some envy for this person, for this business that could like do it so well that it's being traded and used all over the world is like amazing.
Yeah. So that side of the industry is what we would call licensed products. Right. So what happens is, let's say Luxottica and Versace. they're going to come into an agreement, a licensing agreement, that where Luxottica will make the frames, and then they will pay Versace for the privilege or the, of making their eyewear with their logo. And so it's the same. So this one company is going to does make, I should say, Ray-Ban, Oakley, Maui Jim, Versace, Prada, Bulgari.
Gucci.
No, Gucci is Safilo. But that's another one that's another like licensed product. Yeah, but they're all Ray-Ban. They're all made by one company and then get stamped with that logo. So if you go and you want to buy a Versace scarf, that's a quality piece. It's been made well, but the same quality doesn't translate into eyewear.
Okay.
And so I have a very, I have a lot of experience with it because we see all of these frames, and I know the difference in quality in metals and acetates, and and a lot of these new frames coming from these companies are not even using acetate. It's a petroleum-based plastic that's like cast molded, So the art of eyewear is, it's definitely not the same. So when we moved sbspecs into this commercial space, we took the opportunity to open a boutique that is exclusively independent eyewear. So I don't carry... So this is the selling side of it, where we sell eyewear. I don't carry any of those licensed products. You're not going to walk into my store and recognize any of the name brands that we carry. You're not going to have logos on the side of your temples, and there will be handcrafted by artisans from around the world. And so what you don't pay for a logo, you're going to get in quality and creative design.
Right.
Cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Because the materials are not all the same either, right? Like a manufacturer can buy a hinge for a frame for 10 cents or $10. And the difference being the quality of the metals, how are they going to perform? Acetate is not all made the same. Really, there's like 4 main hubs for making acetate.
I was trying to look at your website. I'm like, this is not English. The materials, I'm like trying to figure this out. Okay, so this is great. Explain to me.
So
you might have to dumb it down. But
no.
Okay.
You know what? Easy way to explain it is that a good quality frame is going to be made of acetate.
Okay.
Acetate is plastic,
right?
But it is based in cotton.
Cotton-based plastic.
Yeah.
Okay. So you harvest cotton, and that's how you're getting this out of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a whole process.
Yeah.
I can send you some fun YouTube videos to watch, but if you want to geek out about it. But it's a cotton-based product.
Okay.
It's more sustainable than a regular plastic.
Exactly.
Okay.
And some companies are coming out with bioacetate now, which is even more sustainable because of the way that the chemicals they're using. And the process is for making the acetate is a little bit more environmentally friendly. But
awesome.
Main hubs for acetate production would be France, Italy, Japan, and China. And acetate that comes out of China is unfortunately not aged in the same manner as the other areas that would produce acetate.
Okay.
So it ends up oxidizing, like when your glasses get white.
Like cloudy?
Cloudy, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it has too much humidity in the material. And so it loses its shape and it loses its sheen.
Right.
Japanese acetate generally tends to be aged longer, so it's lighter weight because it has less humidity and it holds its shape better and it holds its color better and sheen.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting real nerdy.
No, I love it. I think it's great. And I think it's really great because a lot of times, like, there's, situations where, like, we're all using these products and we don't know. Yeah. And especially if it's something that, like you were saying, where you don't notice it at first, but then shortly after, right? Where it's something that I couldn't tell the difference if I was looking in a store, but then shortly after, you're left wondering, like, why is this product that I bought, falling apart or breaking or, right? And these are a lot of the things that if we don't educate consumers, then they don't know the difference. They can't see the difference, right? To the naked eye.
Yeah. If your glasses are constantly falling apart or you're constantly needing them adjusted.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from us who are hard on our glasses, but if you're using them normally, they, shouldn't be falling out of adjustment.
Right.
Yeah.
Do people come to you if they just like they love their frames but they need a new prescription?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can just like take the glass out and change them?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, no problem.
I've never had an eye test before.
What?
It's coming.
It's important to have your eyes tested even if you don't feel
Have
like
any
you
issues?
have an issue,
Yeah.
because you can tell a lot about the health of your eye. Like a lot of times diabetes is
Right.
diagnosed in an eye exam.
Totally. This is just a sidebar story. My little brother just got diagnosed. We have like in our family, we have this disease called retinitis pigmentosus. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Yeah.
It's the narrowing, right? The shrinking. And now slowly but surely a few of the cousins, there's like 12 of us in a generation that it's all, it's starting to show up. And they're losing their license. So now I'm like, I got to go out of country for an eye test if I don't want to lose my license. I know.
We also don't want you driving if you can't
I
see.
know. For sure. I know.
Unfortunately, that
is.
is a degenerative condition.
Yeah.
There's not much that can be done about it.
I know.
The requirement to be able to drive is that you need to have 20/40 vision.
Right.
So that means that what someone with perfect vision can see at 40 feet, you would have to see at 20 feet. So that's the minimum requirement.
Lucky for me, I'm not driving very much, but I couldn't imagine losing your license at this age with little kids, like,
That'd be hard.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared to go get my eyes checked because I'm scared of them saying I can't drive. I mean, I have never had any issues with my eyes. So yeah, I guess you're right. Even if you don't have issues, you still need to go get them checked. Yeah. But not me.
I was in denial for a long time to get my eyes tested too. I didn't want to, but
Oh yeah. Well,
once you hit middle age, you have to. Because they do change. I didn't need glasses my entire life. It wasn't until I turned 45 or so.
Yeah, Marshall had like pilot's vision, so he could see better than 20/20. And so we've been married for 20 years, and I've been an optician longer than that. And I remember him always saying, "I'm never going to need glasses. Never going to need them." And I said, "That's fine. We'll have that conversation when you hit your 40s." It's coming.
Right.
Was there part of you that was like, yes, I finally get to wear them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. They're kind of a pain, but
I know.
Now I'm used to them and they're fine. And
I guess I was just thinking because it's in your industry, right?
Yeah.
I know lots of people, like, especially I'm finding like my students, like my young students, are just doing it as like, they don't need glasses, right? But it's a fashion thing. Yeah. They're doing it because it's fun. Yeah. It's like a piece of jewelry.
Oh yeah, and a lot of kids will go into an eye exam and try to fake it because they just want to wear.
I can't see that, Mom. I just want glasses.
Yeah, and that's when the doctor will be like, "I'm going to talk to Mom for a minute," and be like, "Yeah, they're faking it, and just get them a pair of glasses."
Yeah,
just for
get
fun.
them a fun pair of glasses. Let them if they want it, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like kind of a security thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just like off the cuff because I'm thinking my students, I'm really finding kids are struggling with eye contact. I've dealt with kids for so long, right? It's been like 20 years of me teaching, and they really are struggling with eye contact. So I've had a couple conversations with parents in that scenario where they want glasses, and I'm like, maybe it'll like make them feel safer. Like they almost have like a, like a barrier, like a, I don't know, safety blockade. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Like the emotional part, right? Cool. So yeah, I actually wanted to talk to you guys just about entrepreneurship in general. I think we've all come from the scenario of like, being an artist in our field and then trying as we become an adult to make it our job. So I think that's like a really intimidating thing to do, right? To go from like, it was like a side hustle, like a hobby, and to make it into a business is it's a difficult challenge. It's not easy. So can you guys talk to us kind of about your progression of going from, a career to being an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I think when I started this, I was working full time and going and spending a couple hours in the evening after my full-time job to do these little projects. And then as the workload got more and I couldn't keep up with it, the idea of like dropping a half a day of your full-time job was like terrifying. It's like, whoa, like
it's not going to be a regular paycheck.
What if
if you don't make enough money?
Like what if, right?
Yeah.
And I think every time that I had to drop a half a day was another like,
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I mean, I can always pick up more work, but like
Yeah.
if we're going to grow this business, then I have to do this, because it would become a question of, well, we either have to say this is the max of what we can do with the business, or we have to sort of take a leap of faith and
Go for it.
And it was the same, when I went full time. Like when I started working full time for myself was December of 22. It was, I came home from work and we were just like, okay, that's like, when I say from work, I mean like my day job. Right? I was like, I don't think I can keep up anymore. And I think we're at that point now where I have to just do this full time. And it was scary, but
it worked. I mean, that's how I built my teaching career too. When I started teaching, I was working at a drum shop, and I was 5 days a week there, and then took one day teaching, took one day off the floor, and then slowly turned it into 5 days of teaching. Mm-hmm. And it was, we just kind of followed the same process for Sarah, and it just seemed like a natural way to get from one step to the next. It takes a little time, and each step was kind of scary, but it was a little easier than just jumping right in and going full time.
Yeah.
So you're able to build it up step by step.
Maybe you guys can speak to this too, but like we were in a similar scenario where it's so wild to look back on it because you're doing it all at the same time. You have little kids, you're trying to transition, you're seeing what your paycheck looks like from these jobs. It's never enough anyways. You're like, at least at this opportunity, if I could just make the same, the opportunity is there to
and you
grow.
have control over your life too. You have control over your schedule with your kids.
Right.
And that was the other thing, is we have time to do it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I think it's like a good point, is that, you really want to be able to, like, you start to see, oh my gosh, they're going to have birthday parties, they're going to have, or our family trips, like we're going to start to have all these events that are going to happen with our kids. And I know I'm going to be going to ask my boss if I can have the time off. So I think like the flexibility is there, but it definitely is like, it's intimidating because you're thinking, I have mouths to feed. I have to keep this, this can't fail. Like we can't fail at this because we have 2 little kids that are relying on us. So I think there's even more at stake. I also, I'm not, it is a sexist comment, but I think there is like something, in a female specifically, where it's like this exacerbated fear. I'm not diminishing a male's, but like a mother's, paranoia that you're not going to be able to, pay the bills or something. I felt like for me, it was just so much, it felt bigger for me. I think maybe you're just more relaxed personality, but I have sat with a lot of women in business, and it's like, it's exacerbated for a female. We weren't working 1 generation ago. We were in the kitchen 1 generation ago. And now, we have the possibility and the capabilities of being a business owner. So, I think it's intimidating, but it's exciting, right? To be able to like provide for your family and still have your own flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to be like, put a note on the door, like back in an hour, I have to take my kid to a dentist appointment, is such a luxury to be able to do that. There were a lot of, nervous conversations with, when I was employed by someone else, of I have to pick up my kids from daycare, and, we don't have any family to do it. So I need to leave a half an hour early. And, it's always a battle, to just be able to do that. So it's great. I love that.
Of the flexibility.
Yeah.
And part of your career, like part of you were just talking before the podcast about your traveling. So kind of how did that play into effect with, you being away on tour sometimes?
It was just chaos.
It was just complete
constantly chaos.
Yeah.
No, it was, luckily my touring was never, it was never for a long time at the same time. So, I would go for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And so it made it more manageable. Some people who are touring for 6 months or the whole year. I wasn't doing that kind of thing, and I did my best to like leave Sarah with some food in the freezer that she could make, and like I don't know, we kind of managed. We just managed how to do it.
He's being humble. This man is a cook. I am not a cook. I can do dishes really well. That's about it. So when he says he would leave me food in the fridge, what that translates to is he would make a homemade chili from scratch, and he would have it portioned out for us, or he would make what in this last year, you like you had a whole pasta sauce, and he'd make me like lists of like, these are the easy things that you can do with these ingredients.
So
Just because
amazing.
she was also so busy with the business and herself
Yeah.
that it just made it easier for her to come home and throw something in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But believe me, the kids are very happy when dad comes home because mom is not a cook.
We kind of noticed that transition too. Now that I'm getting like more and more involved in the studio, like I don't have the time. I'm working all day and working all night. So yeah, he's taken over the cooking as well. I think it's exciting for our generation to kind of be able to have that switch, right? There's no, specific gender roles, and like you really do kind of pick up where your strengths are and nurture the family however that looks, which I think is exciting.
Well, when I'm home too. Like, so
Yeah.
I'd have students, I'd be going to Toronto and teaching, but I was also home during the day for the girls, and I picked them up in school. So I was still really involved
Yeah.
as a parent and doing that kind of stuff while Sarah was
Building.
like working during the day.
Yeah.
So like we had a neat, like as a musician, I'm working in the evenings and Sarah's working during the day. So
Yeah.
the balance was actually pretty good for us. Like I got a lot of time with the girls, and we both got a lot of time with the girls, and we also got a lot of time together. It was a
Yeah.
nice balance. We had a decent balance that way, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, it never felt like a
Grades
lot.
Lucy in now?
10.
Holy.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so crazy. You were saying that you were teaching in Toronto?
Yeah. Yeah, I taught drums in Toronto for a long time.
Wow.
I was at a drum shop there, and then I had private students that I would drive around to. So I did that up until the pandemic basically stopped it.
Come on.
Yeah, so I
Wow.
drive there a few days a week and just drive to students' houses. And
How does that look now?
I don't do it anymore. My students are all here. I have a couple students in
Perfect.
Toronto that I just do online, and every so often I'll go in. But yeah, now it's all just here.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not teaching as much as I was before either. Like, there's more playing now, but
Yeah. How do you balance those two things?
well, I'm my own boss, so
Yeah.
and most of my students are fine with it. Sometimes you have the students like, well, I'm missing too many lessons, and you find them somebody else that's more consistent. But yeah, it's been, I don't know, I don't find it challenging at all.
Do you have do you have drummers or teachers underneath you that you're like contracting out? No, you're just like, I can't take you anymore. Here's a
I tried
recommendation.
that. Yeah, I tried that a couple times, and students just wouldn't show up, or they wouldn't be happy with what was happening. So it was better to be, well, we'll just take a break for 2 weeks, and here's stuff you can work on, and when I get back, we'll get back to it. And it's been 20 years of that. It's been it's gone well.
Balancing it. Yeah. I think you touched on a really important part, and we all feel that. I feel like in our businesses where, and we're going to get into it in kind of like the community aspect of business building. But I think it's really interesting that, yeah, people want you, so we've heard the story. It's as old as time. Like, they don't want the worker. They don't want somebody underneath you. They want you, and they're coming to your business because it's you. I've exceptionally felt that this year because I took a step back from teaching, and now I have, in my mind, better teachers. Like, they're incredible. They're young. They're inspired. They have the time. They don't have families. Like, they're doing all the things that I can't offer, but it was a hard transition for my parents to be like, but it's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I tried it too. It didn't work.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too to like kind of put your name on someone, right? Like to say like, oh no, I support this person and everything they do, right? It's hard. You have to like develop curriculum and make sure that they're doing it exactly the way you want them to, and that turns into a challenge.
Yeah.
It's hard to delegate.
It's hard to delegate, especially when you prided yourself or continue to pride yourself on being a workaholic.
Yeah.
Or being there's all these names for it, but it just means that you are a hard worker, a control freak or whatever. We have all these like negative connotations, but like I've always prided myself on that. I want my hands in everything.
Yeah.
I want to feel confident in what I'm putting out. So yeah, it's a hard thing to delegate for sure.
I know what my plan is for my students, right? And nobody else is really going to understand the way it is in my brain, and everybody's different. You've taught enough kids that not everybody responds to your curriculum the same way.
No.
And so you have to know how to adjust it too, depending on their personalities. And not everybody has that ability.
To be able to pivot and curate to the client is I think that's like a next level skill.
Huge.
That only comes from experience.
Yeah.
Like you only have, like you said, right? You're like, oh, I'll try this. I'll try to fix it. And then I can add it to my repertoire, right? But like now I know how to do that. I did one and now I can add it to like, the list of all the things I can fix.
Yeah.
Have you hired people for your business, for the shop?
Yeah, I have employees in the repair shop in the actual eyeglass selling dispensary. boutique, however you want to call it. Downstairs it's just me.
Okay.
But yeah, my friend Mel, we've been friends for a really long time. She just has a unique skill set. She's a graphic designer, a painter. She's done jewelry work. She's done woodworking, you know, sculpting. And so she just had this like random assortment of skills that works well for what we need in the repair shop. And
an artistic mindset too.
And
She's
then,
creative,
yes,
like she's
creative,
in theater. And,
outside of the box thinking, you know, that's the kind of employee that I need. I don't need an optician. I need somebody who's an artist.
Right. Yeah, I think that's exceptionally hard.
And you'd say the same for Ellie too.
Oh yeah, and Ellie too. Yeah. So
Ellie's
Ellie,
also
yeah, she's just, you know, one of those kids that's, well, she's not a kid anymore.
As long as we've known her, she's been crafty. As long as we've known her, she's been crafty and always doing something. And
yeah,
so,
tinkering with something, you know, making something. And when people ask me, you know, what I need as an employee, I'll say I don't need somebody in the optical industry. I need someone who has excellent manual dexterity, who thinks outside of the box, and has obsessive attention to detail. Those are the requirements to work for me.
I love that. Yeah. And I love that you know that. I think like as an employer, you have to figure that out, right? It takes a while. So it's not just the fact that like, you know, delegating is difficult because you want to do everything yourself, of course. But I think knowing what you're looking for in another human is so important, because once you find that person, and I feel the same way about the team that I have built now, that I'm like, now the delegation becomes so much easier, and they really like take it to the next level, right? Like the next time that you would have had to delegate, you don't have to now because of that dexterity.
We're finding that now, definitely. Like Mel has been working with us for a year and a half, and getting my first employee, like I was like really kind of dragging my heels, because what I do is not, nobody's going to show up at my shop and say, I know how to do all of these things. Like it's not going to happen. Yeah. So I had to train her, and then I had to trust that I could give her a very precious frame to work on, and know that it was going to be done to my expectations. So now after a year and a half, there's some projects where I'll just, you know, they come in, you know, Marshall comes in and he does all of the books and everything, but he also unpacks all of the jobs when they arrive by the courier. Okay. And then I'll go through it and kind of evaluate what the situation is with it. And sometimes I'll just like take a tray and go, here, Mel, this one's for you. In particular, there was a frame that came in that somebody wanted to add bling, like lots of etching and so I was like, here, this is your project. And she did all the hand etching and inlaid it with enamel, and then set in like 32 Swarovski stones into this frame. And
I just saw this. Yeah, you just posted this. I just saw this. Oh my god.
So that was when I didn't have it. I just hands off. I was like, here you go, have fun. Yeah. And she loves that, and she's done jewelry work, so it's, you know, knowing what skills your staff have and being able to give them the like, wow, what's the word?
Creative freedom.
The creative freedom. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
You're going to do
empowerment, this. Right?
Yeah. And I know that you're going to do it well. So here, have fun.
I know. It's crazy how long you like, you know, you kick that can down the road of like, no, I'm just going to avoid it. I'm just going to work 90 hours a week, and I'm going to avoid hiring someone because, you know, that's the better decision here. And then once you start doing that and you see, we talk about it all the time. We like joke that like, you know, we were being selfish with ourselves, you know, with our things, you know, we weren't willing to share this type of empowerment with like the people around us. And then once you get a team, you're like, oh, like I was, you know, they're better than me. Look at, they're doing it and they're doing it better. Yeah. So like, it's a wild thing it's a, you know, part of anyone's entrepreneurial journey, but like, it really does take a team. And once you take that first step, you're like, oh, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? You know?
It's also really nice to have a sounding board. You know, like sometimes things will come in and I'll be like, oh, this is not something that we've done before. And so I can collaborate with her, and, you know, she's going to have information in her brain that I don't have. And so then we can kind of, you know, throw ideas off of each other and go like, oh yeah, oh, and then we could do this, oh yeah, you know, and then researching, oh, what kind of products can we use? Like she'll bring stuff in, and I'm like, I would never have thought to do that,
right?
So yeah,
two heads are better than one.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I felt it was really it was like a happy accident or a happy byproduct that like it actually, that scenario, what you're talking about, strengthened our marriage, because I kept coming to him to try to be my soundboard. And he was like, I don't know anything about dance. Like, I'm trying to listen to you. I'm trying to hear you, but I don't know about these tutus. I don't know which one looks better with this song or this music job. Like, you know, he would always do his best, but I think it was so much better for our marriage that like I was only coming to him. Now I'm only coming to him with things that apply to our marriage. I'm not coming to him and then looking for him to be my soundboard and then getting mad that I'm not getting the advice I wanted, right? So now I have this staff and team that are like, some of them have gone to school, you know, their education is so much greater than mine in dance. Their administration is so much greater than mine. Their bookkeeping, their accounting is so much better than mine. So I think, yeah, it really does. It turns your other relationships, your supplementary relationships that have nothing to do with the business, it strengthens them by like not putting all this pressure on them it's not really meant for them, right?
Yeah.
So now I have people that are excited about the projects that I'm working on. So yeah, it makes a big difference having a team like that. Is there ever a time that you've thought about giving up? I always love this question because in my mind I'm like, every single day. Every day, you know, it's something that comes up that you're like, oh man.
I'll answer for that business part of it. I would say no.
Great.
I really enjoy what I get to do every day.
Yeah.
I actually can't really think of a time where I've been like, oh, I have to go to work, unless it's just that I want to wear sweatpants and sit on my couch. But it's not that I don't like what I'm doing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's,
You're just tired.
I'm just tired.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's different.
It's totally different. But yeah, no,
It's great.
I don't know. I just, it's pretty awesome that we built this thing and that I get to be creative every day and I get to do something different every day, and that all of these people trust me with their projects and their eyesight and their, you know, precious, you know, eyewear.
Totally.
So no, I haven't.
Amazing. I think I just get intimidated, you know, I'm like, oh no, like, yeah, I just get intimidated by stuff and I'm like, should we keep doing this? Dealing with dance moms, maybe that's the pressure.
I have no dance moms. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That would be a scenario I don't think I'd be comfortable with.
Right? I'm like, there's something else.
That's a different animal. Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, there was a time pre-pandemic where I was getting pretty burnt out. You know, just I was playing a lot and touring a lot and wasn't in a good mental space. So the pandemic I thought I was done when the pandemic happened and music was not happening again. That's when school came about for Sarah's business for the accounting thing, because I wasn't working very much and I thought it was over. I thought it was just happening for me. So for a time there, I thought it was, but now, no, I would never think that now. I'm like, it's back and better than it has been, and I appreciate it more than ever.
Do you think the pandemic kind of gave you that, like, you know, that pause, that time out to figure out, you know, where you wanted to go, what direction you wanted to go in?
100%. It gave me a chance to do my own thing, because so much of my work was working for other people, playing other people's music and playing it the way they wanted it. And the pandemic gave me a chance to explore what I wanted to do musically. And now I bring that to who I'm working with, and I'm making those choices better. Like, these are people that I can express myself artistically, musically with, where I couldn't always do that before. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and it's different now. I don't feel that way, but there was a time I did, you know, sure.
Yeah. I think just like the growing pains maybe of like starting stuff, and in my head I'm like, well, it was just
20,
run away.
Yeah, it was also 20 years. It was also a long time. You know, at some point you're kind of tired and just needed a break. So the pandemic was that for me, for sure.
Yeah, the burnout's real.
It is. Yeah, it really is.
It also gave you an opportunity to, you know, broaden your skills.
Well, I was lucky. Like, I took the opportunity to learn an instrument and to learn more about some of the other things I was doing and to work on writing music more and that kind of stuff. So definitely, yeah, it was a chance to learn more.
And also to go to school for accounting as well.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Anyone will tell you through your entrepreneurial journey that you end up in a scenario where you have to say yes to everything. Mm-hmm. Everything that comes across your desk, you're like, I can't say no to anything. Right. It's an opportunity. Like, I need to take this. I need to do this because it might not come around again.
100%.
Right? So I think everybody goes through this experience where they hit that max, and they do usually express it as like a burnout. Yep. And then they find their own groove where they're like, I have to say no. Saying no in a lot of scenarios makes it more powerful to say yes over here, right? And like you start to be more selective about your opportunities and not just kind of saying yes to everything, right?
Yeah. Well, and then you put the work into it. The practicing for those shows goes a lot better and is more motivated. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So yeah, I just wanted to, I mentioned this before, I wanted to talk about kind of the community, I guess both in your music career and in the shop. I think I was thinking about your business ahead of time, and I think my business as a dance studio is just so organically a community-based business. Like, it is bringing families together. It's bringing them together for education, similar to like your drum lessons. But yeah, can you speak to kind of, how important the community building is for the shop or for, your lessons or your music involvement, and how that builds the business, but also, builds you as a person?
At the shop, right from the start, we really wanted it to be a space that was shared with local artists. We wanted to be able, we just felt so privileged to be able to have this space that we wanted to be able to open it up to share other forms of art as well. So yes, okay, we're doing like crazy repairs and stuff. That's one form of art. And then we're supporting independent frame makers around the world. That's another supportive artist. But it was really important for us to also support our local artists. So, we've invested in some artwork by Jeff Farnsworth that if you come into the shop is prominently displayed. We commissioned a custom piece from Emily Andrews. I said, can you make me a collage piece that's optical themed and make it as like amazingly weird as I'll like put all the weird into it. I love it. Yeah. I don't want to put any input into it. I just want you to
free reign,
do it. And so we had that art piece is hanging in the shop, but it is also been printed on the lens cloths that we make. So one side of the lens cloth is Emily's art, and the other side is the logo and Emily's name and the title of the piece. And what we want to do is eventually have a series of these limited edition cloths that are based on Niagara art. We've been hosting some music nights. We had Jim Bryson in the fall.
We have another show coming up. I think the Fembots are going to play in the space in the spring. So
fun.
So
you were saying that's in the gallery. That's like in the lower level of the shop.
Mm-hmm. So the artist is standing in front of the frame wall or sitting, however they want to be. And then we just sort of move everything around, and we invested in a bunch of chairs. We just kind of rearranged the space and set it up so that it's a private, little show and host music.
Amazing. And I think that's the community building, rallying around the business, right? And it's supporting each other in like so many different ways. It's awesome. I noticed, I was looking at I think it was your Instagram, and I was thinking it's such a special thing for a client to be showcased with the product that they bought, right? So like, you go into whatever, this is a bad example, but let's say you go into like a private, like a boutique shop, and you buy it. It's not often that you're showcasing this choice that this person's bought. I bought this sweater, take a picture of me. And I saw on your Instagram that, and I was like, oh, it made me think like that's so special that people are being showcased for their identity, and even just their choice in their eyewear is like something that's like artisan, right? So I think that was a really fun like community building experience too, just for like a customer coming into the store. Right.
Of course, I want to show everybody in their awesome glasses.
Right? It's so fun.
So usually when I do that, I'll ask them to collaborate on the post, and then it gets then they have a photo of themselves as well on their cool new frames and on their feed if they choose. They don't have to, but when you come into the shop, it's a private appointment, and it starts with me just getting an idea of who you are. Like, what's your personality? What do you want your frame to say about you? How do you want your vision to perform out of the eyewear? So it's a fun marrying of the science and the art. And people are so excited about it. And I just want to show that.
Like, personal curation is just so special, right? I think it's continuously going by the wayside, and people are not business owners are not spending the energy and the time on like curating to people, and I think they're missing a big opportunity of the community building.
Yeah,
which is so special.
When you come in, and it's a private appointment with me, and usually it's like an hour and a half. I don't rush you. It's, you know, we try things on and we whittle it down to, you know, to your top 3, and when you make your choice, then we sit down and we go over the lenses and your prescription and how you want the glasses to perform. You don't have somebody in the background, you know, jingling their keys because they're impatiently waiting for you to help them. Like,
exactly.
It's more of a, you
so
know,
awesome. It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's like wedding dress shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
I love it. So
Yeah.
great. And then how do you feel about your community building with the lessons?
Oh, I don't know.
Or playing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't, that's hard. I don't have, my community is a whole bunch of different bands. I feel like I don't have a lot of, I guess lately in Niagara, I've been playing more with Sleepy Jean and with the Astromen, like the surf band. And so there's been more of that community here.
Camaraderie.
But for my career, for the most part, was touring and playing with artists who lived in BC or lived in the East Coast. And I was just flying out to gigs. So it's harder for me to build an actual community for myself here. I think I'm just getting into that a bit more now.
Awesome.
But it's not the same way that Sarah is. Like, she's making like a real effort at it. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know. That's hard. That's a tough one for me.
I guess like between us though, we've made decisions like sponsoring a show at the Performing Arts Center,
For sure.
and you know, you're a member at the NAC, and you know, like it just, you know, going out to see local art, local musicians play, just, you know, wanting to support them in that way. Like it's we go to everything that we can.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Us too. I guess as of late.
Yeah. Yeah. Lately it's easier now.
We took a hiatus, so we weren't really leaving the house for a while. That's okay.
It gets easier though to leave the house once your kids are older now. 100%. I mean, our girls are.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It was really hard for us to actually go out and be part of the community for a long time because the girls were younger and
exactly.
you know, it was already chaos.
And we didn't have family here.
Yeah, it's just, it feels like that's happening now more so. Like, what are we doing tonight? Let's go hang out with some friends, or let's have people over and play some music. You know, we have a piano in the house now, and so I think there's more of that happening. But
yeah. As you guys, I know I was thinking that today when I was like, oh, we're having them over. This is great. I'm like, we have new friends. And then in my head, I'm thinking, you guys have a university student. I have a baby still. We're the same age.
Wow. I couldn't imagine having a baby right
now. I know. We waited so long. We were so busy. I think, we did a lot of like,
he's 6. He's not a baby.
Oh, he's a baby still. 6 is still a baby. Amazing. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about, just like a little more about the collaborations. So I know, you had said like you're having artists in. That's so awesome, and working with our local like graphic or visual artists. I wanted to hear about Paris. The last time we saw you guys, we were at the Night of Art, and you guys were like heading to Paris like 2 days after.
So that trip we actually won. Because of the art that we have in our shop. So
awesome.
When we went to one of the trade shows in New York last March, yes. They were hosting a competition where you could enter a submission to show how you use art in your boutique. And you know, Jeff Farnsworth came in and Emily came in and talked about their pieces, and we showed, you know, video of like our grand opening with, you know, music, live music playing, and like the commissioned piece from Emily, you know, and we won first prize.
So awesome.
Which was a trip to the trade show in Paris. Wow. And what an experience that was, because you're in a giant space that's filled with, I mean, there's a lot of licensed product. We never even went into the side that had any licensed product. We just went straight to where all the artists were.
Yeah, it wasn't we were seeing the artists in the area. We still didn't get to see it all. We couldn't see all of it.
So many.
It was too much.
So many frame makers. We brought in some really cool collections that we are the only people in Ontario to carry.
So cool.
So it was just it was an opportunity to support frame makers that, you know, are not widely represented in the industry, and bring their product into the store and share it with our community.
So fun.
And these were family businesses too. I
Absolutely.
mean, both of the lines that we picked up in Paris were from people
Husband
who were
and wife
husband and
teams.
wife teams
Yeah.
who were making glasses in their properties and their farms and the, in
amazing.
the south of France or whatever. It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing we like,
Yeah.
So why not sell it?
I think it can kind of, we talk about it a lot on the podcast of like, it can feel like an island sometimes, because we're all servicing our community in such like specific ways and specific demographics that it is often, I mean, you can get together with other business owners, but like if it's, specific to your product and your service or what you're providing, I think sometimes it's hard to find those like minds, right? And like those people that are doing the same thing and having the same pain points where like a discussion does feel really intentional and you're going in the right direction. So sometimes it takes like going to those like big events where you're all getting together. We have we're sitting on a mastermind company that has like 500 dance studio owners. So I think it is a really unique experience to go and get together with like people who are doing the same thing as you. It's just so it makes you feel far less alone.
It fills the
in what
tank.
you're
It fills the
doing.
tank a little bit, right? It fills that you get the energy from everybody else doing the same thing, and it gives you that spark again. I feel.
Yeah, totally. Just to like feel like collaboration like that in that way, where like somebody else is going through the same thing that you're going through, the same pain points, same growth, same challenges. It's really nice. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So exciting. And what did you think of Paris?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Sarah had never been before. I'd had the fortune of being there a few times on tour, but
Okay.
when I've gone on tour, often you're there for a short period of time.
Yeah.
You show up in the morning, you might have an hour, and then you have to set up and play it, and you leave the first thing next. So we actually got to explore a lot, and it was amazing. Yeah, we had an amazing time.
We packed in a lot.
We did a lot.
We did a lot of steps.
walking. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
a lot of walking.
10,000 steps.
More, yeah.
Oh,
We were at
gosh.
25 a day. I think
Yeah,
25,000 a day.
a day,
yeah.
We walked everywhere.
It really
was
is like a
great.
walking city. Like there,
Yeah.
if you're getting in a car, I mean, it's like that in like most major cities. But yeah, getting in a car is just a pain in the butt.
There's just
You're
something,
better off to just walk around.
Oh, yeah.
even aside from, maybe the car isn't the most efficient way of getting around the city. When you're walking, you're seeing things that
Yeah.
you would miss if you were speeding by in a vehicle.
Totally.
You're walking
Yeah.
past a bakery and you're like,
I was just gonna
let's
say
go in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the
Follow your
sights and the
nose.
smells and the, all of it.
Sounds. I'm trying to remember. Was there like busking there? Like, did you see a lot of buskers?
Didn't see much, actually.
No.
Not-
Okay.
not
'Cause
on this.
I couldn't remember. I haven't been since I was like in my teenage years, and I couldn't remember if there was like live music around there.
We didn't
Not
see
as much as I
Okay.
would think. We did see a protest, though. That was fun.
Oof.
It was a lot of fun.
What were they protesting?
That was an experience.
It was a Palestinian protest, but it was also like in
Taxing
France
the
where
rich.
they're trying to tax the rich. It was, the usual France revolution stuff. They're trying to
Smoking
cut social
8,000
programs.
cigarettes, just throwing baguettes at each other,
Not quite, but
whacking each other with baguettes. No. Okay.
no, it was pretty intense though. Like I hadn't seen that many police, and we saw it a good 5 blocks before the protest was even happening, because that's how far the police were lined up,
Yeah.
back to back, cars to cars. It was
I've never seen so many police in one place in
riot
my
gear.
life.
Yeah.
It was insane.
was-
With like tear gas cannons
Right.
and like
Yeah.
automatic
full
rifles.
full on armor. It was pretty
intense.
astounding.
But they were also, the police were also like very nice.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they were just sitting back and letting them protest and just there in case anything went sideways. But just like,
Yeah. It was fine. We had to walk around it, but we also at one point walked through. Like, it was safe to go through. Oh yeah, you're fine.
yeah,
You
no
just
problem. Go
through.
ahead. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just
Doesn't seem
intimidating
safe.
when you're in another country. It seems intimidating. We had that in Peru too. Remember that was like there was all those people protesting. I think they're protesting development into Machu Picchu.
Or some kind of development through an ancient site or something like that.
Yeah.
That makes
But
sense.
the protest was massive. We just heard. I thought it was a parade at first,
Yeah, I
and
thought it
people
was like
just
an
kept
army.
coming and coming. But they were organized. They just marched down the street. I don't think there was any violence at all, and I don't think we saw any violence at all in Peru. But that was an interesting situation. There's just so many people
So
showed
many
up for this
people.
cause. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge amount. It's the same thing with this. It seemed pretty fine. It was fine. I didn't see any violence, but it was just a massive amount of people. making a lot of noise.
Cool.
It's great that they can get people out for that.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready to take a break.
Sure.
And yeah, we'll be back to talk about music.
All right. We'll be back.
All right, we are back tonight. We have Marshall and Sarah Bureau in the studio with us. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
It's been great. So yeah, I kind of wanted to switch gears. I know, Marshall, we've been talking to you a bunch about your music because that is your bread and butter. That's your business. But kind of, I wanted to go back and talk to you, Sarah, about your roots in music and kind of how you got started. You said you were trained in opera and switching over. So I kind of wanted to hear about your musical journey and kind of what it means to you.
Yeah, I always loved to sing, and I think it was grade 5 that I started taking vocal lessons, and just really enjoyed it, and then transitioned into more classical training, trained with the Brock voice coach for many, many years, and did a lot of competitions and such, but yeah, up until like grade 11, I was planning to go to school for opera, and then I chickened out. Well, just the idea of being a musician as a full-time career was kind of scary. And we had family friends who owned an optical chain, and he said, well, why don't you go and take this course in opticianry, and you can do that, and then you can still do music on the side. And so I was like, oh, that sounds good. Like, I'll get a paycheck, but then I also get to do music. So that's what I did. But then, I don't know, 25 years later, we're still here as an optician. And what's been really beautiful is that I've been able to find the art in opticianry.
You've also kept singing.
I've also kept singing, yeah, for sure. I sing with Minuscule, and I did go back and start working on my ARCT a number of years ago. But
What is that?
It's like the last exam in the conservatory. So you can
Oh,
do
wow.
it. You can do it either from a teaching perspective, or you can do it as a performer. And so
Amazing.
I was working on that as like through the performer's sort of vein.
Cool.
But then the business just took off, and I didn't really have the time to dedicate to it. And so that kind of got set aside. But it was really more of a bucket list thing at that point. I mean, it's just a little...
Personal goal.
It's just a
Yeah,
little
personal
check in a
bucket
box.
list. Yeah.
It's not, it's not necessarily necessary. I can sing and I can enjoy it. I don't need to have that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like 10 years ago. I saw you like in a theater performance, right? Were you with a theater group? Like
I did a
theater
lot
troupe?
of theater. Yeah, I did a lot of musical theater with the
Yeah.
Port Coleman Operatic
Yeah.
Society.
Yes.
It's been a number of years again since I've been able to do that, just because the business has really taken a lot of my time.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it, and Marshall does it as well. I did the first year by myself and then roped him in, so he's their drummer now for the last 20 years.
Oh, still doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Legally
Amazing.
Blonde starts in a couple weeks. So.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, there
Legally
you go.
Blonde. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Cool.
Yeah, so I still get to do music.
Yeah.
Most of my singing is usually on the drive to Grimsby for soccer practice with my daughter.
Does she love it?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
her like get pumped up playlist is Paul Anka,
Fleetwood
Oh my
Mac.
God.
Fleetwood Mac,
Amazing.
who else? Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, she has a wide range. Of
it's all over the place.
That's great.
Ken Yates.
Oh, Ken Yates, yeah, of course, Ken Yates, and so we do a lot of singing in the car, which is great, and it's nice to share that with her.
Yeah.
It is nice to keep it as a hobby too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say on the break we were kind of talking about our kids and just like what our musical experience means for us individually, and then like passing that on to our kids. So, it's just it looks different for every parent, for every musical parent, but I think we all have the same collective idea that like we just want it in their life, right? Like we just want music to be like part of our life because it was such like a big part of our life and got us through so much emotional stuff. It ends up being like your own personal therapy to be able to like create like that and just have an outlet to do it. So
Or something you always go back to. I mean, you're still
Yeah.
connected to the songs you listen to as kids too, for that reason, right? I think personally,
It's cathartic.
Cathartic.
yeah. Yeah. What does music look like for your girls?
What does it look like for our girls? Well,
Yeah.
well, I mean, Isla's getting back into playing guitar now, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, we were talking about it's fun.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So she was, playing piano as a kid and stopped, and as a normal teenager does, and we didn't push her. And but now she's coming back to it naturally, and she still does. When she comes home, she sits down and plays. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really happy that she has something that she can just play.
Yeah.
And Lucy seems to be getting a bit more serious about singing.
Yeah.
She's like taking lessons now, and it's really exciting because she's amazing at it. And
Yeah.
you want to see her use it somehow, even just for herself for fun,
Yeah.
or to feel confident about herself and her ability to do something like that. So yeah, that's all it is. That's all. I'm happy with it like that. Yeah.
She sits down and she'll pull up chord charts and she'll just sit at the piano and just sing and play. And it's amazing. It's like you've never played this song before, but you've pulled up these chord charts and you can play it. And she's just, it's really nice to just see her enjoying music for herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys said that they both took lessons when they were little?
Yeah.
Both girls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they both took piano. Isla did violin with the school program.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. For a little
And
while.
Lucy now is taking lessons with Leanne Vita, who is the vocal prophet Brock. So
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you brought up a really good point. They do they get to be teenagers, and like you really can't force them into anything.
No.
no,
They don't want our opinion anyways.
No, but they'll come back to it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Isla had given up,
Yeah.
at first when she decided she wanted to stop piano, but now she's asking for guitar again and wants to play and seems eager about it, which is it's great.
Amazing.
It doesn't go away,
Yeah.
It doesn't go away for any of us, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So, obviously you're so involved in it. How has your musical career kind of gone from the beginning till now?
Oh, geez. That's a long story. I don't know. From the beginning, I got lucky. Like I started playing music. Like playing drums for me started by accident in a lot of ways. I played saxophone in high school, and I had played a little bit of piano for that. I never got lessons, but I walked into the music room one day to play saxophone. And in my high school, you would stay late. It was in the country, and you would stay late if you wanted to practice, and you had to wait for a late bus that was an hour and a half or 2 hours later from the time school was out. And so I would often stay and practice saxophone. But this one night, people were in the music room playing guitars and basses, and their drummer hadn't shown up. So I was like, okay, well, I'm here. So they asked me to sit down and play drums, and I did, and then I joined their band. And that's how I got into just bought a drum set, joined their band, started playing shows with them, and then joined another band because somebody asked me. And then we did these open jam sessions in Ottawa. Ottawa has a big blues scene, and so I'd go to these blues jams, and the adults started hiring me, and that I was making money at it, so I didn't stop, and it just started taking lessons, took it seriously, and it just kept going. I don't know. Yeah, it kind of was random. I moved to Toronto and met people, worked at a music store. I don't know. I got lucky.
So
I don't know.
cool.
I can't. It's hard to describe how it happened. It was pretty organic.
Yeah, it feels serendipitous when you look back on it, right? Like the way it happened. But we were talking kind of on the break, and I think it's for any parent will tell you like it's a huge financial commitment to get kids into music. And I think that for me, I mean, it's similar to like a dance or arts or any lessons. I think it's such a gift that you can give your children, right? And so if you grew up in a situation where it wasn't achievable, it wasn't attainable, it wasn't accessible, you really realize like kind of what a gift it is as like a parent doing it second generation, as like, being able to provide your kids with these type of lessons and what that means for them to have like tools in their toolbox. They're so much further ahead. Oh man. The fact that they can just like sit down and pick it up is because, we put such effort into them when they were little and spent all that money on the piano lessons,
Same with dance lessons. I mean, both of them know how to move their bodies because they did the same thing, it's very true. We got lucky too. We couldn't really afford it.
Exactly.
But I was able to barter my lessons for the piano teacher. Like the piano teacher that the girls had gone to, she had 2 boys and they wanted drum lessons. So
you did a trade.
We bartered the whole for 10 years. Yeah. I was teaching those boys up until last year. So it worked out. You find a way to make it happen for them because it was really important to us for the girls to have music.
Yeah, we talk a lot about these type of like social situations and systems, and I hope that we go more in those directions in the coming years, that we end up more in like trade scenarios, because I think our financial system is struggling.
Well, this is what our financial system was before this.
Yeah,
this is how we did things. We did barter. We lived in a community, and we bought and shared things within our community like this, and we traded things, skills, and so I think we're definitely heading back towards that. Like that's what it looks like anyways, and it works. It does work.
Yeah, it does work. And the community building, I'm always like really interested in, and I think is so much more powerful as when you're kind of like, you're finding an intersection and you're kind of putting energy into that. It grows the community so much faster. 100%. I think like, it's better.
Well, way better. Yeah.
Awesome. So I just wanted to know if you were willing to talk a little bit more about your recent tour with Great Lake Swimmers.
Sure. What about?
Tell us all the things. Tell us about the van.
It's not that. No, I'm not going to. We're not going to talk about the van. We're not going to talk about the van. One thing about touring is vehicles. Yes, for sure.
I was curious how you got involved with the Great Lake Swimmers.
Okay. Yeah, the Great Lake Swimmers. So I played. Tony is from Waynfleet. He grew up in Niagara. But I played in a band. One of the first bands I played in that was touring was a band called the Northern Chorus, and they were a band out of Hamilton, and they were a dream pop band. Had like they were a really great band. I loved playing with those guys. And Tony used to open for us as a solo artist right before he recorded his first record, and then Tony wrote some incredible songs and took off. And we lost touch for a while, probably 10 years, because I was still playing music with people and in other scenarios, and Tony, as the Great Lake Swimmers, got pretty big. And I don't know, I think it was, if I remember correctly, the first time we reconnected was at the Calgary Folk Festival, maybe in 2014 or maybe earlier than that. And we just chatted, and he needed a drummer for something shortly after that, and I got a call. And I've just been a sub for him ever since, and we've been building that relationship. since then, basically. And I've been in that band on and off. I'm not in the band. I've always been just a fill-in guy, and really love like touring with them, and playing that music is pretty special. Tony's a great songwriter, and for an artist to connect with his audience the way he does is really special. You know, it's not something you see all the time. And on this last tour was even more eye-opening, especially being in the U.S. In these times. You know, people were crying at the shows at the end of it because he touches them with his song so much, and that's powerful and impactful, and so it's special to be a part of.
You said you were also singing.
I was also singing, yes, for the first time. I was singing harmonies with him, which was a lot of fun, and that's pretty powerful. You know, it was surprisingly, by the end of it, when I felt comfortable and was into it and we were locking and sounding together, it was really heavy and powerful and awesome. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you calling Sarah with questions? Like,
Yes.
how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this?
I
What
talked
do
about
I do
it.
this?
I think I drove them crazy talking about it too much. Like everybody, like, I don't know, man, I'm not hitting these notes right. And it, you know, the conversation was constant, but that's just me wanting to be good at it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's exciting to take on new stuff like that.
Yeah, it was stressful. I was playing drums, and it's a whole new record we had to learn. I was playing vibraphone for 4 or 5 songs, which is a new instrument for me too. I've only been playing that for 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we
just saw you play it in Welland.
That's right. Oh, with Katie. That's right.
With
Yeah.
Katie.
Yeah. I just started learning how to play that in right before the pandemic. I bought that, and over the last 2 years, I've been taking lessons, or maybe a year. I've been taking lessons with somebody to study it, like to learn it properly.
Wow.
So there's been a lot of new stuff. So there was a lot happening on that tour where I was pretty a lot of stuff to move, and then like there was a lot of new things to learn and know how to play the song.
Yeah, you should have picked a lighter instrument.
Funny, my best friend tells me that. He goes, "You went from drums to a vibraphone."
Yeah.
I would have thought backwards, you know,
Yeah.
flute or something.
Yeah.
Get a flute.
Oh my god. I'm a flute player.
Yeah.
No compromise.
Yeah, no compromise. Yeah.
No.
All for the art, right?
You're just trying to
Yes.
get jacked.
That's right. Yeah. Definitely. I was the only one who could carry it, so I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah, we already kind of started talking about this, but I thought maybe we could go on the other angle of just you guys balancing time together, because we always struggle with this, like with all our endeavors and then the businesses and the kids. You know, how do you guys strategize making time for each other and your time together?
I don't know. It just seems to work. Like
We just run into each other once in a while, coffee break, you know?
Well, so one of the things that we have as an advantage is I do work for Sarah's store a couple hours a day. So for at least a couple hours, I'm going to be in the store.
Yeah.
Helping on some level, excuse me. So there's that, but that's not really
it's not hanging out. That's like us asking each other questions that are like, oh, did you do this? Oh, did you do that?
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know. Like, it hasn't felt like we don't see each other.
No, we see each other all the time. The thing is that we both enjoy the same things. So when we do have time off, we really enjoy doing things together. And whether that's just like sitting on the couch and
Watching a movie.
watching a show or a movie or something, or whether, you know,
or
it's
going out for dinner, or
you know, playing a record and just like talking about our day and, you know, what our experiences have been, or going to see a show or going out for a good meal. Like,
no, that's just because our kids are older now, and we do
actually
have
leave
this
the
time.
house.
We have the time. I know it's different for parents who have younger kids. You don't have that time. But this is something that's been a luxury lately. We've had time to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is nice, you know.
but like we always took that time.
Yeah.
Regardless, like we would get a babysitter and we would go out and we would make sure we were connecting.
We're still the kind of
Yeah.
people that will take like a Sunday off and sit on the couch. Like we will do that. And I know
great.
it's not everybody's favorite idea of productivity, but for us, it's like you need.
No, but you have to balance
You
it,
have
right?
to,
like you
yeah.
have to rest to recharge.
You
And
have
like
to.
it's in those moments of just rest. I mean, I always say that entrepreneurs never rest, because in the rest times, that's when like the brilliance
Yeah.
happens, right?
Sometimes
You
it
can't
does, yeah.
stop the ideas.
Yeah.
Like they're going to come, and they're going to come when you finally like are quiet enough and not focus that they just like start coming, right?
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we make sure to take that time, and that's how
Yeah.
we often do that together. So.
But we're also the same kind of human where like we're kind of extroverted introverts. So we'll go out and we'll hang out with people and we'll have a great time. But then we're also super comfortable just sitting on the couch and not talking to each other or anybody.
Yeah.
Like it's not an awkward silence, you know. But then we also, because we work together and we enjoy a lot of the same things, it's like when we go on a work trip, like if we go to New York or we go to Paris or whatever, we work together and then we go and enjoy the city together. And
and it just feels like everything's a shared experience between them. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. We're lucky as a couple. Like, we often feel like one person. If I was like, you know, if there's something one of us wants to do, the other person will be like, yeah, let's do it. I'm into that. Let's go. We never have these, I want to do this, but I want to do that. We also, a lot of my friends live in Toronto or live north of Toronto now. So, you know, my close friends are far away. So most of my time with friends will be spent with Sarah, unless we're going there specifically.
Right.
Or they're coming here, which doesn't happen that often anymore. You know, as we get older, that's like you mentioned earlier, like our friendships are waning, right? Like you're getting together with friend times that used to be all the time, and now it's rare. And so this is our friendship now.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think you're really lucky when you do find a partner like that you like love to hang out with. Because we were talking about on the break, but like it's becoming exceedingly difficult. I think that like people can partner up like that and find partnership with like that. Yeah. Did you realize that coming on the podcast was going to be also couples therapy?
No, it's fine.
Talk about your relationship.
Free therapy. I love it.
Therapy is great. Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
Honestly, I just and this is going to sound super cheesy, but I just feel like I am married to my best friend.
Aww,
and so
good.
Like if I had to choose, if somebody put 5 people in front of me and said, choose one to hang out with, I would always be him.
Yeah.
And that's not out of obligation. It's just because I like him.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah,
I had a student's mom tell me once that there's a philosophy in her culture that was, when you die, your life flashes in front of you. But you're going to pick one thing out of that life, and it's going to hit you in the head, and that's going to be the thing you come back as in your next life. Like this is the Buddhist principle that they live by. And she goes, and so some people will choose it'll be the dog that hits them, and they'll come back as a dog. As their childhood dog will be the thing that they've really connected with in their life. And some people connect with their partner, and they'll come back with that partner again, and these are partnerships you get to do it again, and these partnerships probably go on for eons and centuries. And I feel like if I was to put myself in that story, I would say that we're lucky that way. It feels pretty natural for us to hang out. And
it's a fun idea to think like we could be like 8th generation soulmates or something, right? Like we're just doing it in a different place in a different time, but like we're still the same 2 people. I love that. Yeah.
Not that our marriage has been perfect, like every marriage has its things, but it's definitely that's what it feels like to me.
Of course. Yeah. Bree used to say that to me, that you end up with somebody by default, and that just used to sound unloving and harsh. But then as I kind of grew into it, I was like, I think that it makes a lot of sense that
you just keep staying.
You just keep staying.
Like you keep choosing to stay.
A relationship
you keep choosing
is long.
that same person over and over again, right?
Time,
but like you keep coming back to it, and you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you have to choose. You have to keep choosing it, though. Every day you are continuing to choose it. Now, if somebody does something terrible, then maybe you won't want to. But hopefully you get to be able to keep choosing.
I also really love the idea of I think people. It's not by choice or not choice, I think, but when you become an entrepreneur and you kind of get involved with each other's work, there is something that's really symbiotic and like a healthy reliance or dependence on each other, where like there's something so powerful about working together on a project that I think you guys share that in terms of like running the business together, where like you do have that reliability. I mean, everyone has it in their marriage that they have like their jobs or whatever, but I think when you do intersect in terms of the business part, it does like add a level of strength in your relationship where you wouldn't otherwise have it.
It brings communication. Like
you have to
communicate if you're running a business together, and that's the big thing. And if you can communicate in the business partnership, then your communication as a couple gets a lot easier and a lot better. That would be my first observation that way.
Likewise, if you respect each other in a business situation, then that respect also transfers into your personal relationship. Like, yes, I might be fixing all of the glasses and I might be doing all of the actual handwork, but if it wasn't for Marshall being behind the scenes and running all of the other stuff that goes with business, I wouldn't be where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it, you know,
you have this higher level respect. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'm even more attracted to you because like, you know, we're working together on this project. And
Yeah.
like you get to see skills that like maybe you wouldn't otherwise if a couple like, you know, you go to work and I go to work and you never see each other's like work ethic. It just makes you more attracted to like
100%.
their work ethic and their determination and their intelligence. Like you get to see this whole other level of your partner, I think.
Yeah.
That's
agree.
absolutely true. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, you would.
I feel the same way about the construction stuff because I'm just like, we're running all these businesses, but it's in a building that like he built, you know, or like refurbished, or we can only operate because of his like construction skills. So like we have the same kind of like symbiotic relationship, which makes it really easy.
Yeah, it's imagine the problems you'd have if you didn't have that part of your, you know.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
You start thinking about it. If I didn't have Sarah even as a musician,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Because she was an understanding and sympathetic partner for me to be able to go on tour and to be able to be out until 3:00 in the morning sometimes, and to come home more hungover than I should, or you know, more drunk than I should be, or get up in the morning more hungover than I should, you know, like that kind of stuff. You know, it's like it's the same thing. There's an understanding there for what I'm doing, and even if it's not always perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Just being respectful.
Perfect is
with
boring.
it.
Yeah,
Perfect is boring.
Yeah.
Need the crazy.
You need the crazy. Yeah.
I just wanted to touch a little bit because again, we're just talking about music. I know you had mentioned that you're doing the music event in your gallery. I just wanted you to kind of speak to how that endeavor kind of happened and how you know, how you decided to do something like this and how you're gonna or how you see it going in the future.
Well, when we took the space, we like it was really a pretty strong focus for us that we wanted to support as much art in that space as we could.
Yeah.
And that's visual art. It's art in however we can get it.
Manifestation. Yeah, exactly.
And so obviously live music is kind of an easy transition because both of us are musicians. He's more of a musician than I am, but he, you know, just having connections within the music industry and all the people that he gets to play with who are so talented that may not necessarily play in this region, being able to give them a platform to be able to showcase their music to a new audience as well. You know, it's small, but I feel like it could be mighty. Like,
Yeah, it can be. Yeah. I mean, we definitely thought about it during, like, at a time when house concerts were pretty ubiquitous. There were a lot of my friends were playing house concerts because post-COVID and COVID, that's kind of all there was for a while.
Yeah.
And so we thought it was a great opportunity. You can get 25 or 30 people in there. And then when we opened the store, our grand opening, a friend of mine and I played, and it went pretty well you know, and so we thought we could do it going forward. And so we had Jim Bryson, and that was great. It went really, really well. And we haven't done one since, just because I've been too busy to really make it happen. But yeah, I think in the spring, we're going to have another group come, the Fembots. They've been around for quite a while. They're really great singer-songwriters.
out of Toronto.
They live in Hamilton, Toronto now. I think they've kind of moved around, but yeah.
My marketing brain is just like, oh, it's such a great opportunity for partnership too, in terms of like, there is a big industry for having like a front person be supportive of a brand, right? So I feel like it just like goes together with like artists wanting to find an eyeglass or like a jewelry or whatever, you know, whatever that thing is, but to have it be really like specific to them and curated. So in my head, I'm just like, oh, famous people wearing your glasses. This is perfect. Like, you know, getting them into that space, they're going to see kind of the opportunity or see like some of the stuff that you have to offer. And like, that's such a great connection for the business.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, they're wearing, you know, original, whatever. So.
Yeah, or you're bringing different people into the store that wouldn't necessarily
That wouldn't have otherwise.
You know,
just introducing them to your business.
Yeah.
Here we are. This is what we're doing. And
Yeah.
also, we like music, and check it out. you know?
Totally.
And tell all your friends.
Tell all your friends.
Well, after the last show, there was probably a good hour
Of people just hanging around and like
Trying glasses.
Asking questions, trying
encouraging each
glasses
other
on.
to try glasses on and being like, oh my God, those look amazing. And oh, those are so cool. And, you know, just,
again, more community building.
Yes,
you know, it's just
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
And Instagram dreams. For
us,
for Instagram dreams were made.
For me, it's like every line that I bring in has a story.
Yeah.
And so when I'm talking about a frame, I'm saying, this frame is made in Japan. It's made in the region of Japan that's known for making samurai swords. Look, some of their temples are made of Damascus steel.
Right.
And, they have 10 employees, and one employee follows this frame throughout all of its production. And, just knowing the story behind a frame and knowing the story behind the brand, and that it's not just some mass-produced whatnot with a logo on the temple.
Yeah.
And
I love being able to tell those stories.
And telling them to people who are there to see the musicians. They'll get it. They'll understand what you're selling them. They love storytelling.
And I think all humans do, and now we're going to crave it more and more.
Yeah.
Because we're getting those cookie cutter mass produced everything.
Yep.
So where more and more humans are going to be looking for that uniqueness in everything they do and everything they wear and everything that's around them. So I think it's a great direction as an emotional piece, but also as a creative and as a business. It's a great direction to take your business in involving the storytelling.
Well, and also do you really want to wear the same Ray-Ban that every third person walking past you on the street is wearing?
No.
It's set yourself apart from the crowd. Choose something that expresses your personality.
Yeah. Love that.
That's what's always exciting for me is, sometimes clients will come in and they're very timid, and it's oh, okay, I'll give them something quiet. And then I just give them something a little bit more, a little bit more. And the next thing you know, they've fallen in love with something. You're just okay.
Wow.
You've come out of your shell. All right. Now we're expressing who you are. Let's do it.
I love that. That's great. My last question, I always love asking our very creative guests this, but how do you, how would you advise someone who is interested in getting into a creative business like this? How would you motivate them, or what advice would you pass on to them?
Well, I mean, if you're going to do it, it has to be something you're passionate about. I think number one, if you're going to start a business, it should be something that you're, in my opinion, you're into it. You really love it, and you want to see it grow, not just for the business for you, but for whatever the industry is that you're in as a whole. You're wanting to do something positive with it. Yeah. And I think you'll do that. If you do that, you'll do it with passion, and you'll do it with some love, and it'll grow. If you're in it to make a buck, that's where corners get cut, and people see that, and especially
or you'll be sadly disappointed.
Or you'll be sadly.
There's a lot more work than money involved.
That's just it,
again,
right?
That too.
You have to be passionate about it to make it happen, and then have the right people. I mean, that's huge. We're lucky. We have the right people. You have the right people.
Yeah.
That's really important. And I know it's hard for everybody. It's not easy for everybody to find that, but it helps.
Yeah.
You also have to be willing to work yourself to the bone.
Yeah. And
have a lot of sleepless nights and
be egoless, be ready for education, be ready to learn.
Yeah, our mentors are constantly telling us you have to be obsessed with your business, just be obsessed. Want to do it, want it to get better, want it to grow, want to tell everyone about it. You have to be obsessed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
Last question. If you are looking back on your journey, what are you most proud of?
Man, I'm proud of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this one. I'm proud of Sarah.
Love it.
I don't know. What are you most proud of?
I think that I'm proud that we just did it. That we had an idea for something, and we talked about it for a long time before we ever made a move.
This was a big dream for a long time.
It was. And just being okay, we can't keep talking about it. We have to do it. Yeah. And
you bootstrapped it.
And we did. We started from nothing. We didn't have any financial backing. We didn't have anything. It was just, we feel right about this, and we're going to put in as many hours as we need to make it happen because we're passionate about it. And I'm saying we, but
no, but it's true. It is we.
In both businesses, your music and in the optical industry, is just Passion and hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah. I mean, I still practice drums 3 hours a day. I still do it.
I had that as one of my questions. It didn't end up coming up, but that's crazy. 3 hours.
I still do 3 hours a day. And if I have music to learn, I'm learning music for whatever's coming up. Like right now it's the musical. Before the Swimmers tour, it was learning how to sing and play vibraphone parts.
Yeah.
And before that, it was the Ken Yates tour. I had to learn his new record, and and that's how it works. And I still love that. If I don't practice, she's usually telling me, "You're on edge right now because you haven't practiced in a few days. Go in there and play some music.
Get out of here."
Yeah, go. So that's you have to love doing that.
Yeah.
I've been playing drums for over 30 years.
Wow.
Professionally for almost that long, and it's
that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, but I still love doing it. I still want to practice it. Still want to get better at it, right? So I think that's a big thing. And Sarah's the same with her in her industry. She's still learning about classes. She's still learning about eyewear makers. She's still learning about the industry, and it's
still asking questions.
Yeah. And now things are like growing and changing so much that like it's it's even more important to be open to learning.
Yeah.
Or else you're gonna cut yourself off, right? You're gonna cut yourself off at the legs without learning the new stuff.
That's right.
Staying on track. Awesome. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming. We loved having you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we'll be watching for you. Rooting for you and watching everything you do.
Thanks. That's great.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and you'll never miss a podcast.
Bonsoir.
All right, good night.